Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sartika. I am from Graduate School of Universitas Negeri Semarang. Today, I would like to share my research entitled "The Impact of Applying Murder Strategy for Students' Reading Comprehension." Reading, as a fundamental ability, plays a critical role in expanding knowledge. Based on Hafiz and Nasrallah 2012, they argue that reading is one of the most important skills for mastery of a foreign language. And the other scholars also stated that reading in a foreign language is a very useful and relatively painless way to improve command over the target language. Berry and Narakshan 2016. And the last researcher stated that reading is one of the most important means by which acquires knowledge or information from the world around us. Young 2016. It can be concluded that reading is an important activity of the learners in life and is an effort to acquire language, communicate with the text, and share information and ideas. Consequently, the learners can enhance their knowledge of other subjects through reading. Although reading is very important in our life, students still have problems when reading narrative text. According to Forrest and Divina 2009, some of students got difficulties in recognizing text organization, paraphrasing, and understanding vocabulary. Sartika and Ramoroka 2017 also argued that some students had a problem in linking up information in a text. Furthermore, Hairunisa and Widodo 2019, they found that the students had difficulties in comprehending the structure, point of view, and maturity of words. In short, some students had difficulties in comprehending the text due to lack of vocabulary, lack knowledge of how to determine the generic structure, and also how to get the idea by linking the information from each paragraph in the text. One of the strategies that can be applied by the teacher in order to improve the students' problem in reading narrative text is using murder strategy. Modern strategy is one of part of cooperative learning. So actually, murder is acronym from 6 words. They are M is mood, U is understand, R is recall, G is detect, E is elaborate, and R is review. So in the first step of murder is mood. So the individual should attempt to find a time and place that set a positive mood. This will allow the individual to study more effectively because the individual will usually not be able to read effectively if he or she is in environment that is distracting. And then the second one is understand. In understand step, the individual marks any information in the text that he or she doesn't understand by cycling it, highlighting it, or simply drawing a question mark next to it. And the third step is recall. So in recall, the individual should attempt to paraphrase and jot down everything that he or she learned from the section that he or she just went over. And the third step is detect. So in detect, the individual should go back over each topic that he or she marked earlier and reread that the material is an attempt to understand that material better. And then this, what is it? The fifth step, elaborate. The individual should go back and start asking and attempting to answer questions about the specific topics that he or she still doesn't understand even after completing the digest step. And the last step is review all of the material that the individual actually does understand in order to refresh the material in individual's mind, according to the Silva in 2000. To conduct this research, a quasi-experimental method was applied, and the population in this study was all the 10 graders of SMA Negeri 1 Padamaran, which consisted of 6 classes, and to choose the samples, the proposed sampling method was used, and the samples were taken to classes, and then to collect the data, the written test was used, and to make sure the validity of the test, so the content validity was applied, and to measure to measure the difficulty of the test item, index of difficulty on the chip was also applied, and to measure the reliability of the test, KR21 was utilized, and to analyze the data, the test and percentage were used. Results and discussion. The results reveal that most students had problems in terms of determining the dynamic structure and moral values. The mean of post-test in the experimental group was 72.5, and in the control group was 47.5. The mean difference between post-test in the experimental and control groups was 25. Since T obtained was higher than T table, at the significant level of p value less than 0.05, it can be concluded that there was a significant difference in reading comprehension achievement between the students who were taught by using model strategy and that of those who were not. Because of the benefits of using the model strategy, students in the experimental group can comprehend the text and answer the narrative text question. First, in terms of mood, students were more interested and motivated to participate in reading class because they could share their ideas with their partners. Furthermore, they believed that they could collaborate with others rather than work alone. Second, the students comprehended the narrative text in the understand aspect because they analyzed the words and discovered the meaning of the difficult word. Third, the recaller summarized the material in the recall and take aspects by transforming it into their own words and sharing it with the detector. While the detector detected any errors or omission in the summarization, it was discussed with the recaller to make it as accurate as possible. Both aspects made the students more engaged in the learning process. Fourth, in the elaborate aspect, the students were more communicative and cooperative because they produced the summary based on what they had studied in pairs to make the information more memorable. Finally, in the review section, the students gained the most understanding of the text because they summarized the entire passage. As a result, furthermore, several students had difficulty recognizing generic structure and moral value when answering questions. To put it another way, learners who were taught using the model strategy had better progress in understanding the text. The student score also improved after learning a narrative text using the model strategy. However, some students struggle with problems with the generic structure and moral values. Conclusion. This research has explained the result of the implementation of model strategy to teach reading comprehension, in this case narrative text. Based on the statistical analysis, showed that there was a significant difference in reading comprehension achievement between the students who were taught by using model strategy and that of those who were not. This strategy guides students to comprehend the narrative text, following the steps of note, understand, recall, detect, elaborate, and review. Although the students had better score in reading achievement compared with the control group, they still had problems in comprehending the general structure and moral values. In short, this strategy is effective to improve students' reading comprehension, and teachers can apply it as an alternative way to boost reading comprehension. This is the references. I think that's all about my presentation. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.